Have you ever needed to make a decision and you ended up asking everybody else around you if that decision was okay and you trusted what they said instead of trusting yourself? This is a very common sign that you're living in the past, and the past is where the guilt is. And so, if you want to live from the future, I have three tips for you today so I can help to bridge the gap from living in the guilt of the past to living in the freedom of the future. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Vicky Lord, and I help women to have everyday courage and confidence so you can live a life that you truly enjoy. And so, if you're stuck in the habit of asking others if this decision was okay, that comes from either guilt or people pleasing. And they both go hand in hand, even though they're kind of different, but they tend to be, if you don't people please and ask for their opinion, then something could go wrong and that will cause me the guilt. And so this is a programming that was started in childhood because as we grow through life, we take these little learnings that we learn, and instead of letting them go when we're a little child, they grow with us. And then we end up into this adult and we've got these learnings that have grown along the way. And one of them is to not trust yourself, but to trust other people instead. And so these three tips today will help you to break the habit that you need everybody else's approval but your own. So the first one is before you go and you ask somebody for that decision, am I making the right choice? Pause and ask yourself first, do I trust this decision and does it feel good to me? Because your feeling is like your guiding force. You've got your gut instinct, which is feeling. If you take the time, practice on a small decision. So say you're going to wear something tomorrow, practice with what you're going to wear and start to realize what it feels like to ask somebody outside of you if what I wear is okay, or ask yourself, how do I feel wearing this today? And once you start to become aware of your feelings, you'll start to realize where you're trusting yourself or where you're not trusting yourself. So that little game of pausing before you have the habit of asking somebody else, is this okay? Take some time and just go, I'm going to ask myself right now, what does the trusting part of me feel? And that feeling, if you can learn your feelings, you'll be set free because your feelings, they're part of how we actually hear from our higher purpose. And feelings will guide us. It's a misconception that feelings are evil. They're not. They're actually part of the way that you can enjoy and be guided through life. So feeling is a secret. That's number one. So pause and ask your feelings for some guidance. And then if your feeling is in its highest good, then it will give you an honest answer. So feelings are not to be feared. Number two is to um, practice making that trusting feeling a priority. So we'll use wearing what you're going to wear. So you've asked yourself the feeling, what do I feel? And so now that you've got the feeling, the next thing is to trust yourself to put it on and go outside wearing it. And so this is often where, um, if you haven't practiced self-trust before, you'll feel that it's okay to put it on. So you put it on and then you won't trust yourself to go any further with it. So now what you want to do is you want to take that feeling of self-trust and go for another little step to go outside and feel the feeling of self-trust. So now you've discovered what the feeling is, and now you're taking a bold step with the feeling of self-trust. And so now you don't need to ask somebody else's permission again. Is this okay? What you're going to do is you're going to know your feeling and take the second step of walking out to the mailbox, for example, with your new feeling of self-trust. And then the third key is that we can't be responsible for how other people respond to us. So say we've made we've asked our body for the truth and we feel good about it. So now we're taking an action step towards what our truthful way of being is. And then if somebody else from outside of you says, I don't agree with that, we have to be okay. This is the third key. You have to be okay that they're not always going to agree. And, over time, you will build your courage strength because there are over 8 billion people on this planet, and not everyone has the same point of view. And that is okay. You're a very unique person, and your truth sometimes isn't exactly the same as the person sitting next to you. We've all read different books in life and we've all had different experiences. So, what one person believes to be true is not the same as what another person believes to be true. And it's okay if another person does not have your same agreement. We don't want to hurt anyone going through life, but we want to respect other people at the same time as respecting our truth. And so, I hope that you have the courage today to start exploring the deeper truth of you and to stop to not feel guilty anymore when your truth may be different to somebody else. It's very fun stepping out into the world of courage. And if you wanted to work more on yourself, I wanted to give you an invite. I'm taking 5 people this month to personally walk them through the Ascend method, which is called the Journey of Self. And we go through life through stages. And if you wanted to learn more about self-trust, I can take you through the 6 steps of awareness and building the self-trust and the clarity and the confidence and the new beginnings. And my favorite thing is dream mapping your life, so that you can really relax. When I went through it myself, I actually had this is a breakthrough session. I actually went in and I didn't realize how tense I actually was. And after I did the breakthrough session, I was like, oh, there was a lot of relief and a lot of relaxation involved. And I was like, wow, I was living this really tense life and didn't even realize it. And now I'm living this really relaxed life. I hang out the washing in such a relaxed, peaceful feeling. And I want that for everyone else as well. So if you want a personal walkthrough, it goes for 6 weeks. And I'll leave my Instagram info in the bio and reach out to me and say, hey, I just watched your video and I'd love to know more. And I'll happy to answer any questions for that. Thank you so much for watching. And after you've subscribed, I will see you in the next video.